Shapes! Hello, dear viewer. I'm leesusss. You remember Shapes, don't you? We played it ages ago. I'm now fascinated by this roller coaster zooming around as well. We haven't got that, unfortunately, because I'm not a supporter of this, but there we go. It's the original Shapes. There you were, the game started. It was a vast, open background, like a layer of sheet of paper. And across the paper were scattered these little patterns of different shapes of different sorts. The further away you went, the more wacky the shapes got. And the game would say to you, could you splice those two particular shapes together and paint them blue and purple, and then give me like 2,000 like that. No rush, but as quick as you can. And there you would go. You had conveyor belts, and you'd have little machines, and you would cut and splice and overlay the shapes to make the goal, the object that the game wanted, and that's what you do. And it was endless fun for efficiencies and everything else. And they've been in there. There's been a second one, Shapes 2, and it's rather wonderful. I've been playing a little bit of it, but only the early stages. So I can say that it's much prettier. Not that I particularly care about that. There's some additional new features, nice things with layers and other ideas like that as well. I don't actually know how complicated it's going to get. So what I'm going to do, I don't think you want to see every single blow by blow of me playing an entire game. It can take a while. But I thought I can play little bits of the intro to show you what it looks like and how it's functioning. Then we'll do a little jump, and I'll show you some expansion of the larger areas, and then we can maybe throw bits in every now and then, levels here and there and bits and pieces. That sounds okay. Anyway, let's play, and let's do. See, I've done a bit here. I've played. I know I haven't played 5 hours of this. Definitely. It's not actually that much, really. You're barely getting started doing 5 hours of this. I got kind of distracted on my first play, but there we go. Different difficulties. We'll do the LP up here. What's challenge? I'm not sure what challenge is. Oh, I see. That's interesting how they've brought this in as far as difficulty. Difficulty wasn't really a thing in the last game. It was a matter of just how complicated the shapes were. Obviously, they're putting a limit in here. Interesting. Goal multiplayer makes it harder. Platforms. Don't worry about platforms and copy pasting. Oh, interesting. Okay, we're going to go on normal for now. Yeah, we'll do that for now. We'll do the basic as well. We'll do the operator. This is how far I got onto the last one. Operator certification. How about this? Here we go. Oh, into the void. Into the void with us. So, welcome to your certification. Yeah, we did sign up. I'm very much signed up for this game. The Vortex, which is where you chuck all your things you've made, wants to evaluate how good we are before we can play the rest of the game, or it's not going to let us. We need to deliver some basic shapes. Okay, this is very much learning how the game. If you've never played Shapes, you don't have to. You can get straight into Shapes 2, but it gives you a little lead into it as far as you go. Okay, I will strive for efficiency and build no spaghetti factories. I can't promise that. I do like efficiencies, but you don't need to. And also, by the way, you don't need to. Despite what this game says, it's a very relaxed game. I will not damage any buildings, whatever they mean by that. Okay, so the start of the game looks a little bit different from before. Ignore these over here. The original game was, oh my god, it's huge. Oh my god. Okay, the original game was just a big white sheet covered in different object types and things. We don't care about any of this stuff for now. Doesn't matter. That's stage 2 of the game. Instead, we've got a lovely 3D rendered object from here. Yeah, and the initial bits we only care about are these ones here. Okay, so over here we have some shapes. Yeah, we've got some circles. Yeah, and we've got over here we've got some squares, and we've got some more squares. No, more circles and more squares. Okay, now what we're gonna do. And the game wants to teach us how to do stuff from here. The basic view. Let's make a nice view like that. There we go. So we want some extractors. Now, extractors are used to pull objects out of the resource objects out of here. So we've got an input and an output, and it gives us a lot more tips about how to do it. The first game didn't hold your hand too much. It said, you go and work this out. Here's the bits, go and work it out. This one's a bit more friendly as far as that goes. So there we go. We've got 4 extractors. And it showed us how to make build belts. Yes, yes, yes. And we can. This is a new thing. Anchors makes things much easier. So we can build a belt. And all the things will feed onto the conveyor belt. Now, what I mean about anchors is, in the last game, it tries to do the best it can with what you want to get to and make an efficient space. But sometimes, especially with these games, you want to be exact about where. Well, actually, I don't want to bend over here. I want to bend over here. So what you can do is you can put little anchor points that do that as well. This is also another feature. Gaps. You can jump over gaps to a certain degree. Yeah, and we can unlock these later. But this was something that you could. Tunnels and like things like that were a thing that became available later in the original game. Here you get them from the start. Anyway, so here's the circles. They're jumping across the gap, and then we want to feed them into the void. There we go, and we can look back at what they've previously told us by looking at the certification thing and all the rest of it. We can look back at what we did. It's quite friendly. Sometimes when I get these games, my brain, it's not that it's not well laid out, but sometimes my brain goes, too much information. It's not that here. I found it far more friendly to my brain the way some of these things are laid out. So we can look at the hotkeys, we can look at undos. I think there's a lot of effort has been made with the GUI. From here, yes, so we can go back and we can read about shapes and everything else. There we are, chucking circles into the void. We don't have to stop with that though. I mean, we can do some more. We can do a second one if we want to. There we go. Two lots of circles. Oh, we haven't joined there properly. There we go. Two lots of circles being chucked into the void. Nice. And we've got a milestone to reach. Things to go to from there. Again, it's guiding us through. It doesn't assume that you've played the previous game. Cutters, though. I think the original game is slightly different to this, but don't worry about that. This cutter here is a destroyer. Okay, so you can put you need multiple buildings per belt. Yeah, like that. See, I shouldn't have built this second belt. I'm going off piste. There we go. But all this cutter does is it chops part of it in two, gets rid of one half, and onto the next one. Yes. Thank you, game. Yeah, it's making us do this. There we go. So we feed into here with a 50-50 split. 50% of the time, objects will go that way. 50% of the time, they'll go that way, and then they're going to get passed through into here, and then we get half circles, and that's what the game wants. Doesn't want these anymore. This is wrong. Let's get rid of these. There you go. Circles can get stopped there. This slot will go into here instead. In fact, let's just feed that into there like that. Yeah. Let's just delete these. There we go. Right. This is not an idle game. We want 40 half circles. Let's get them squares on the go, shall we? It's leading us through, so we know what to do. We need to put some extractors down, and then we do things from here. Now, part of the way this game works is that you're delivering what the game wants, and it is a certain number, but there's no other limitation on that. If you want to make some god awful mess that cuts up the objects and delivers as long as you get the right object out at the end and enough of them go, we're all fine with that. The game is okay with it. We're okay with it. No one cares. Okay, doesn't matter. However, the different sort of people that play this game like this. Some people want to be as precise as possible. Some people want to, make things as efficient as possible. It's different levels. Some people just look at what they've done and go, is there not a more efficient way of doing this? So, for example, I think by doing this, 4 belts leading to 1 is more efficient than this. Yeah? That's maybe a niche case, whether that really is true or not. But there are certainly other cases. For example, this is not very efficient here. The way things are being fed up 50-50, it's not. It'd be better off having, splitting this. What's a more efficient use of this one, for example, is something like this. Like that, yeah? It splits it 50-50 each time. And that means that the distribution across here is more even. Yeah, that's a more efficient way of doing it. So I can do that. and a lot of people who want to play this game do want to have that efficiency as much as possible. And some people, that's sort of fine. Other people want to go even further and make complex factories that are like perfect factories, every single thing, the most efficient speed and everything else you can do, and that's great. But you don't have to. Okay, you don't have to feel pressured by this game. Now he wants to put rotators in, by the way. So he wants rotators in there, and he wants another bunch of cutters. Like that. And it feeds into there like that. So now we're cutting, we're rotating, we're cutting again. You know, but little doobage bits like this, little ones like this that can go in there instead, which is a nice little factory system again. And again from here, do I think that's efficient? No, but I think it's slowing things down a little bit here. But we won't worry about that too much. It's all fine. Don't get stressed about it, me. It's all good. And this is also interesting. It's actually asking for this shape here in the top right, but this one it's in the bottom right here. I think in the original shapes, rotation did matter. I think it did say that you can't just chuck anything in you want to. But I guess in this form of game where it's more 3D and you can rotate, you could say, there we go. These objects are right. Just get you look at it from a different angle. It's all fine. We don't care too much. It's fine. That's good from there. And that makes things a little easier. But we are going to get more complications later. So don't worry. How are we doing over here, by the way? We've got enough squares, but again, we need to cut these into two. But nothing fancy. Let's just have a bunch of these. I like fours. I like even numbers. Yeah, that's what I like. So we can do like that. Just delete that. In fact, I have to do stuff on this, by the way. It's I'm not too bad. There aren't too many worms in my brain, but there are some, and those worms must be obeyed. And that means I have to do some manipulation like this. You haven't seen what I've got into later. Anyway, yeah, this is all fine, isn't it? Eh? We're doing stuff, and now we're doing these as well. Now, one thing you notice here you can't do, if you haven't played the previous game, is you can't, there's no speed up button. Okay? You can't make this go any faster than it is. This is where the efficiency starts to creep in, and you finish something, you go, okay, I've got another 1900 objects to deliver like this. That's when you sit there and you look at what you've made and you go, hey, that is when I could make this a little bit better. And that's when you start to play around. This is only a little part of the game, you know. Just sitting there thinking, why did I do like that? You know, I can do that much better if I do it like this. And playing around and making better factories. That's really what a lot of this game is, I think. The purity of this game and the bits that we generally enjoy. Come on, game. Although during videos, it would be nice if we did have a speed up. Again, you can't even just feed more objects in because there's a limitation on how fast the belts make. We've got a milestone. There we go. We've done this bit. We have the conveyor belt. We've got the extractor, half destroyer. We've got a new thing to unlock. Stacker, second floor, some upgrades, and some new tasks. So we've got a bunch of tasks we need to do and a bunch of tasks we can do. So in fact, these ones here are additional things we can do, and for each one of these we complete, we get research points, and research points allow us to buy new things like different sorts of cutters and swappers and everything else, okay, or improvements on these, or in tiny new objects like the trash machine or the 180 degree rotator, not 90 degree rotator. We can go 90 degree counterclockwise. We can now buy we've got 90 degrees anti-clockwise. We can now buy 90 degrees counterclockwise, and a 100 rotator, and various other things as well, even things like labels and stuff like that, and various floors. Okay, but the main thing here is the stacker. So let's talk about stackers next. Okay, we've unlocked this. Here's our new milestones. Here's our pinned tasks we can do if we want to. And generally, you find that what you've done before leads you into the next thing that you want to do. So, what have we got here that we can do? Well, okay, this is an easy one. We've already done part of this, haven't we? All we have to do is chop these in half again. Yeah, so we can... But if we chop them right now, we'll lose... It won't work. We need to do one rotation and another cut. Which, of course, is pretty much what we did over there with the circles, didn't we? We're doing the same thing again. And now we're chopping them in two. And I'm sure there's more efficient ways of doing this. And on from there. By the way, think about speeds as well. If you look at speeds, so the conveyor belt, 60 per minute. That's the speed. 60 whatever's per minute. And you've got 30 per minute for the rotators. And you've got 20 per minute for the cutters. So in fact, the cutters are slowing us down right now. In fact, this whole thing can't run faster than 20 a meter. Even if you've got completely stacked with items. Because that's the fastest it will go. How fast the extractor go? 15 per minute. Okay. So yeah, so in fact, the cutters are the things we care about right now. We don't care about stackers. Yes, stackers, be quiet. Cutters are the big thing here. So if we want to upgrade something soon, maybe we should focus on cutters. Yeah, because that's what's slowing things down. Anyway, we're doing this. This is piling up. Let's ignore that for a while now. Now, what have we got over here? We've got this stuff. I could keep some of this, but you know what? Boom, it's gone. Right. What we want now is we want to combine circles and squares. So we can do it. So let's get a supply of squares to start with. In fact, let's take this away from here. You lot over here can be the suppliers for that. Here we go. You can be the new thing for there. Oh, and you're not connected. Right. Come along with me, squares. Come over this way. You're needed. Right. How do we put circles on top of squares? Yeah, like this. Quite easy. Use a stacker. So the stacker is a double height object. Like this. See here? So one object goes on the bottom. In this case, we want the squares on the bottom. And we want the circles coming out the top. We need to get the circles up to the other level. So what you do, if I do, it's not these things here, by the way, which confused me at the start. What you do, if you do Shift and E in this case, it takes you up a level. There are levels above. We've only got access to level 2 at the moment. Level 1 is down here. Level 2 is up here. So if we do that, we can now see we've got a little lifter. Yeah. And then that. Let's go up to level 2. Feed into there. In your own time, squares. Square will come into here. Circle will go on top. And then we'll get it come out at the end. And in fact, if you look over here, the game pre-works what you're going to get come out. Yeah, so you can see if it's the right thing or not. And when it is the right thing, you get a little tick coming out like that. Good, huh? Stackers are quite nice. Stackers are slow though. They're 10 meters per second. 10 per minute or whatever you want to call them is what these are. Here comes the first one. Bonk. And we need 240 of these, so we're immediately going, well, that's a bit bloody slow, isn't it? We need to improve that. But we can't do much about it. What we can do, though, is we can improve things a little bit. So let's do like... We can just do something like this, can't we? Yeah? Let's go up a level. Like that. We can do that. We can do that. There we go. And this upper level here, it's not only... So in the previous game, you could have tunnels. So you could go, for example, you could have a problem here. I'm going to hit this conveyor belt, but I'm going across here. So you can go under the conveyor belt by using a tunnel. Now, I'm sure tunnels will come in later. They might do, I don't know. But in this one, we've got levels and multiple levels. But the levels aren't just about taking a conveyor belt. You can put constructors up here. If you want to put rotators in here, you can. And something in my brain is like, oh, well, that alone is like, that's a real game changer, isn't it? That really does a lot for us. We can do a lot more with that. And as I say, I don't think there's quite as many innovations, new things in the game, but that is certainly one of them that adds a great deal to the complexity of what you can do with this. How are we doing here? We've got lots of stuff going on. It's just the things are slow. Oh, you want 6 stackers, do you? Okay, fine tutorial. You want to be a butthead about it? We'll do that many then, shall we? There we go. And we'll have them feeding out of here into here. There we go, like that. See, like that. Research points. Yeah, we'll do research points in a minute. Go away. Can you go away? Oh, I'll open the tasks overview. This is telling what I said earlier about the side tasks. Okay, these are the milestone ones. Ones we have to do. And these are the pin tasks. These are the ones we want to do because we want to get the research points to unlock things, which we will do in a moment. If we make things better, you know, we certainly need to do that in a minute as well. So what we could do, in fact, is everything running okay here? Everything's running all right, isn't it? It could be more efficient in terms of how it feeds in. Let's quickly do that. If we do this, it hides the view. What I in fact could do here, where I like to feed things in a certain way, in fact, you know what, sometimes it's better to have a clean sweep, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, that's the wrong way. Anchor. There. What did you call me? Called you an anchor, mate. What are you going to do about it? There we go. Right, so we're now feeding in a little bit more efficiency. I would do things differently to this probably in another life, but it's fine. We're having fun here, aren't we? Obtain 2 research points. Make completing side tasks. Okay, well, we can do that. In fact, the side task here looks remarkably similar to what we're doing here. So, in fact, what we could do, let's preempt things slightly here. This is an okay setup, isn't it? It's not beautiful, but it's all right. So we can take this lot. Oh, we've got unlock blueprints, have we? You want to be funny about it, do you? You're not going to let me unlock blueprints yet. That's annoying. I basically want to copy this. I can't do it yet. You're not going to let me. That's fine. Well, we can nick us to you, game. We can do that. We can do exactly this. You know, we can just do 4 stackers like that. There we go. And the feed comes in. Oh, in fact, we want 2 feeds coming in here. We want a low-level feed. Yeah, we want that coming into there. That's going to be the circles coming in. And then we want this supply coming across here like this. Yeah. But of course, we want to feed the upper part as well. So let's go up a step like that. Yeah, we want the same circles coming in. And what we can do is we can do a 50-50 split here. If we start here and we go up and we go like that. Yeah. Now we're using 1 supply line. Oh damn. Right, can you feed out of that one instead, please? The whistling of the void over there. There we go. And that's see, so we're making these as well. And that'll stack up fairly quickly. Interesting. Oh, yeah, we'll do it in a minute. It'll start firing them. It's not actually got them yet, but it can see already I've made the correct object. I'm also eyeing up this one here, because I think you can also easily, clearly see how we can make this one fairly easy. But I want to have these points unlocked, because it's not just about making things faster. It's about unlocking new objects to make everything more efficient. So in fact, blueprints actually aren't that important yet. We want to have perfect factories, and I started to make those in my own initial playthrough of the game, my initial 5 hours that I've played the game already. It flew by, believe me, it flew by very fast. But really, there's not actually too much point of having some of those blueprints yet, because some of them are going to radically change, considering that when I unlock new objects at the moment. We really could do improving this supply, couldn't we, really? This is not great. You know what? Let's do this. Let's just get rid of these. Look, we've got too much demand on this. Let's do some new. We've got a load of. We're not paying for these bloody circles, you know. Doesn't matter. I don't see. I don't. Yeah? Anything like that, eh? That ring your bell, does it? Hey? Make your ears tingle? Yeah, that's good, isn't it? Hey, look at that. There we go. We've got more going on. I don't care about these too much because I know we're going to change them all later. And far more interesting things are coming. There you go. Whee, off it goes. Whee, into the void. The void must have its objects. Right. What about this one over here? Have we finished this yet? No, we haven't. This one's a similar one, though. Oh, I really actually want the blueprints because I want to be able to do these next. Because you can see things going on here, can't you? Say, this is the same damn thing over and again. But, let's do this. This one's a bit more interesting. Let's do this one down here, maybe. Yeah? We can work with that. Okay. When this is finished... Hold on a second. What is this doing over here? This one's not doing anything right now, is it? I'd forgotten about that. Okay, we can do two things here. First of all... What a waste of time I didn't realize I was doing that. Let's select all this lot. Okay, we're already producing individual squares. So what we can do... You can see this is a square on top of a square. And when, by the way, when you lay things on top, they get slightly smaller. So that's why you've got a thing like that. Even though the squares start out slightly bigger to start with. And in fact, what we could do, we could take... Got a couple of ways of doing this, really. Because these are slower. Because these are running at 20 per second. And these are running at 10, aren't they? So what we could say is, okay, why don't we take this and we do that, and then we like that, yeah? Is that actually working? Yeah, 50% are going that way. Now, because this is running at 20 per second, this is the slower step, the 10 meters per second. Yeah, we can feed one. We might as well just feed one stacker, because you know, if we had two stackers here, it would run at half. It would run at a slower speed than the feed coming in. So if you split like this, it will make it more efficient. So in fact, yeah, we've completed a shape. So what we do, if we complete some more of these like this, if we do one for each feed. Uh-oh. I should have moved this further over. We can move it further forward, actually, what we can do. Let's do that. Let's do, like... Is it going to work over here? This is where the fun starts to come in, with, like, efficiencies. Or, in this case, inefficiencies. Don't shout at me. I know it's not efficient. I know some of you already have itchy fingers, because, like, I could do better than that. I know you could, and so can I. But we're not going to worry about it for now. Got two making it. Yeah. That isn't actually better, is it? Oh god. Right, okay. I know I can fix this. Don't look. I'm telling you. I'm warning you, okay? Don't be don't you be shouting at the screen like that. I'm not having it, okay? I'm the let's player around here, okay? You can just be quiet. No, that's not going to work either. Okay, fine. Should we come back to this? This is a work in progress. I'll do this off camera so I can go, look at this, look what I did. I did it good. Are you proud of me? Trying to do things on the fly is not always my the best way of doing it, is it really? As he continues to try to do it. We're going to copy it over here. Look, I can do it. Look, I know I can. Look, just fine. We're going to. I'll speed up this bit. You'll be able to hear me is squeaking in the high-pitched, high-speed version, and you won't even know. Yeah. There we go. It's fine. I did it. I fixed it. I can't waste this. I can't waste the pieces. Can't waste them. No. Stop it. You can do both. I know you can do both. Game. I know you can make a four-way conveyor. Do not try me like this. I guess you can't because of the divider there. Fine. See, now I hate it. Now I actively hate it. It's fine. This is the best bit of the game. Right. What did we do? We did something over here. We achieved something, didn't we? We achieved this. Okay. We've done something quite simple, which is we did that. We haven't got any research points yet. We will do soon, and we can make a better version. But what we can do for now is we can make a whole bunch of cutters, and it would just make the next one. So a lot of these early sort of stacked quests, one after the other, just feed into each other. There you go. See, we're now making this one with a very simple change. And I think it's a good learning mechanism of how you should be doing these things. Don't look at it. Don't look at that. Don't look at that over there. Yeah. What about these ones? I mean, these are even better. I mean, you can see where these go to. We can do what we did here. Do it with the squares. And as soon as that one's delivered, or we can filter off some of that feed to make the next one again with another series of stackers. Yeah, kind of fun. And just feed it all in there. What about this one? This one's a bit more juicy. Let's build this over here, maybe. Let's start afresh and forget all of our previous sins. And yeah, you get blamed for this as well. By watching, you're actually contributing to this. You're aiding and abetting. So we need to do a division. Yeah. We need to do a rotation. We learned this before. And another division. There you go. That gets us a little circle like that. Yeah, we can do loads of those. That's easy enough to do. Let's just copy some now, shall we? Let's do them in... No, not that one. Let's do 4s. Because 4s are even numbers are best. I will fight you over that. Right, we have that. We want our half squares over here. Don't you start, computer. Don't you be booping at me. Beeping and booping at me. Yeah. Ooh. And then we want to just merge them together. Now, in this case here, there was a separate unit from what I recall in the original game. But in this one, we just use the stacker again. It doesn't actually matter how we stack them in this case, necessarily. Oh, you know what? We actually do need to cut these in half. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, let's see. There we go. Like that. Got a bunch of halves. Seems a bit wasteful, doesn't it? But we'll sort that out later. The potential wastefulness of just throwing away half your shape. Doesn't seem right, does it really? So this one, as long as we get the rotation right, it doesn't actually matter which one goes on top and which one goes on the bottom. As long as they're not overlaying each other, they will come together properly. So let's have a little look. The only thing to factor in there is like speed, about how quickly things like rotators and things work and what works best where. Oh, I've managed to overlay it entirely. So if we do this now, what's going to come out? Oh dear, it's going to tell you again. It tells you a little prompt again. This is nice, but I would be happy to turn that off. See my own mistakes from here. Yeah, we've got this kind of wrong. We need a slight rotation there. We need that one actually help, will it? Yeah, it's still me overlaying it. We want the anti-clockwise. That's what we want really. So how about if we rotate this one instead? Will that be any better? Looks like it might be. I'm sorry, Void, you're going to have to reject some of these. But they seem to be okay. Yeah, once they get through here. These ones will be alright, won't they? Ignore these deformed versions here. Doesn't matter. We're not penalised for doing that. Here they come. They come the better ones. And we'll have this object done in no time. And again, of course, while you're doing this and faffing around with this, these things, even if you haven't done an efficient job over here, they're getting done. They're getting done. By the way, what's the matter over here? Oh, we got a point. We got a point. We got a new object over there as well. Can we spend anything on any useful? Is 1 point worth anything? No, it's worth sod all. So But anyway, we are delivering these though. And again, oh, you know what they said about rotation? They said rotation... Oh, these ones are dead. This is more of a mirror, isn't it, really? Do you actually care about this? Let's wait for the dead ones to go past. Once this one gets yeeted into the void, and then... I don't know what happens to things that are rejected by the void. I have no idea. What are you going to say? You're not going to like that, are you? Because it's a mirror image. Ah, okay. You don't like that. Well, that's fine. We can deal with that. If you want to be funny about it. There's no reason for me to do this, by the way. I just don't like the idea of it doing that. There we go. There we go. Are you going to be happy with that? Yay, it's happy. It's happy. I fixed it. I fixed it. It's all okay now. Anyway, what did we do over here, by the way? We fixed something over here. We finished one, didn't we? We finished this. So what can we do with this? Well, the easiest answer with this one, again, is just to chop it in two. Chop them in two, mate. Send them over. They'll be fine. There we go. I would like another quest, though. I would like to complete one more... Ooh, a shape goal has been completed. What did we do? We did something. We did something. What did we do? Was it one of these? No. It wasn't one for points, sadly. We're now making this. Are we making something like that already? Are we making like a partial one? We're stacking those on top of each other and sending them out. We're doing half circles here onto a square. And when you want to chop them again. Is that all that is? Well, we can do that. We can do that, buddy. Oh, that's annoying me. Yeah, I'll fix it in a second. Don't yell at me. No, that's a rotator. No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. Chop it in two. Oh no, you've got a vote. No, you have got. Oh, see, I was right. It was a rotator. See, I knew all along. I had to rotate it. My brain knew. I didn't know. My brain knew. Bzz. There goes the laser. Good stuff. And now we're delivering those as well. Yeah, see. Now, this is all very simple, isn't it? Some of you look at this and going, wow, that's quite easy, mate. But it's not. Okay, what we're going to do, I'm going to complete one more so I can show you some of the research points and the improvements we can get out of that. And the next video, we're going to expand to the next area. What happens after we've gone beyond this into the greater shape universe? Okay. See, I fixed it. I did it. I did it. I could probably do this with a little bit less. I could do this with less space required. If I had a third floor, I could do even more with it, but that's not necessarily more efficient. Just going up a level is not necessarily more efficient. Over here, though, a research goal has been unlocked. So what is the best thing to do here? Well, I can make the belts go faster. That's not really our problem right now, is it really? And we can unlock some of these. So I would really like to unlock... Oh, I love that one. I'd really like to unlock this one over here. Yeah? So this one is the cutter that doesn't just throw half away. It gives you the two halves as two different outputs. This is going to be very important for the future. We don't need it yet. But what we're going to try and do is we need some of these. We really critically need some of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to complete as many of these side quests, these pin tasks as possible, to get as many research points as we can before we get onto the next zone, and that way we can do as many of these things as possible, because this can make a massive difference to a factory. And one of those things where I'm chopping a whole square down to quarters and then joining those quarters with something else. You know, it's not joining those quarters back together and things like that. It's not needed. You can just chop something in two. But we can unlock that later. But for now, keeping it simple, what's the best thing we can do here? We can improve the stacker, for example, to slightly faster, which would be a big bonus. There's lots of stacking going on. That could be quite good. And we could do the cutting, which goes up to 30 meters. Now, if we look at these now, cutting's 20, and the rotator is already 30. Okay, so my logic is if we go here, if we increase this to 30, then any cutting, the stacking's still going to be a problem. You know, we can work on that from there. Cutting is no longer slowing the rotation part, and often cutters and rotators are joined together. Yeah, and this is all rotators affected by that, and all cutters will be affected by this. So including this cutter over here. Yeah. Now, of course, the stacker is still slow. So these things are now running at 30 per second. But these ones are running at 10. But all that means is you need to have 3 times as many of these as you do of these. Okay? That's the way that I'm calculating that as far as that goes. So in fact, this is probably, you know, you could expand this or halve it depending on your how you like to do your efficiencies. Is there anything else worth doing here? Probably not. I think we're going to call it here. You've got the idea of what we're doing from here, yeah? How this is working. And this is all very much still tutorial land. We're still getting... Let's get on to this. Let me cut past all of this. I'll quickly finish these off. I've done it before. And we will get on to the next stage and the wider shapes universe. Okay? You can see the next level of things we can do from there. I hope that's enjoyable. It's like a little intro to the game and things from there. But thanks for watching. Take care of yourself, and I shall see you again next time.